everyone. So in this lecture we will continue with our unit number 4, chapter number 10. So first one is the interface analysis. So a key tenet of all software engineering process model is that is you better understand the problem before you attempt to design a solution. In the case of user interface design, understanding the problem means understanding the people, that is the end user, who will interact with the system through the interface, the task that end users must perform to do their work, and the content that is presented as a part of the interface. And the fourth one is the environment in which these tasks will be conducted. So first of all we will see, first one is the user analysis. So in the user analysis, earlier we noted that end users has a mental image or the system perception of the software that may be different from the mental image developed by the end users. So in addition, the user's mental image may be vastly different from the software engineer's design model. So the only way that the designer can get the mental image and the design model to converge is to work to understand the users themselves as well as how these people will use the system. The information from a broad array of sources can be used to accomplish this as a first one is a user review or user interview. So the most direct approach or the interviews involve representatives from the software team who meet with the end user to better understand their needs, or the sales input such as the sales people meet with customers and the end users on a regular basis and can gather information that will help the software team to categorize users and better understand their requirements, or the marketing input, that is market analysis can be invaluable in the definition of the market segment while providing an understanding of how each segment might use the software in substantively different ways. And support inputs are support staff talk with users on a daily basis, making them the most likely source of information on what works and what doesn't. So some questions are help the interface designer better understand the user of the system. The first is are user trained professionals, technicians, clerical or manufacturing works. The next one is what level of a formal education does the average user have, that is what is the education level of your user. And the first one is what is the technician, or is your user is what, it is a trained professional or it is a clerical or it is a manufacturing worker. Or the third one is, are the user capable of learning from writing material on how they express a desire for the classroom training, that is can you give the training to your user, or is there a need to give a training to your user, or the training or your user can learn by writing your material details, or are user expert typist or the keyboard phobic, that is are your user is keyboard phobic or is a expert typist, or what is the age range of the user community, means what is your application is used by which age of the community of the user, that is it is for the adult, it is for the child, or it could be used by the any age of a person, or will the user be represented predominantly by one gender, or how are user or compensated for the work they perform, or do user work normal office hours or do they work until the job is done, that is the user is using your application for what purpose, for its home office work or for the job purpose, or is the software to be an integral part of the work user do, or will it be used only occasionally, means it is the user who are using your application continuously or it is only using it for the occasional purpose. So what is the primary spoken language among the user, what is the language expectation of your user for your application, what are the consequences of a user makes a mistakes using the system, or are user experts in the subject matter that is addressed by the system, or do users want to know about the technology that sits behind in its interface. So you should need to focus on these questions before developing your user interface. So answer to these and similar questions will allow the designer to understand who the end users are, what is likely to motivate and please them, how they can be grouped into different user classes or profiles, what their mental model of the systems are, and how the user interface must be characterized to meet their needs. So the next one is a task analysis and the modeling. So we will see what is the goal of the task analysis is to answer the following question. So the questions are, what work will the user perform in specific circumstances? That is, what work your user will done with your the model, and what tasks and subtasks will be performed as the user does the work, and what specific problem domain objects will the user manipulate as work is performed, what is the sequence of the work tasks or the workflow, and what is the hierarchy of the task. So it is briefly discusses in your use cases task collaboration. We will see first one is the use cases. So use cases define basic. So in the use cases are what the use cases. So use cases basically defines what is written or the informal style, that is your user and its activities performed by your user, such as if it is a small software company wanted to build a computer aided design system explicitly for interior designers to get a better understanding of how they do their work. Actual interior of the designer asked to describe specific design functions. When asked how do you decide where to put furniture in a room, an interior design writes the following informal use cases, such as they will write your where is your essence, such as lamps, rungs, paintings, sculptures, plants. So all these criterias, where you want your table, chair, sofa, cabinet. So this is all the list of the use cases when you are telling your interior designing to fix the furniture for your house. So the use cases provide a basic description of one important work task for the computer aided design system. From it, the software engineer can extract tasks, objects, and the overall flow of the interactions, such as a digital photo could be taken looking out each window in a room. When the room is rendered, the actual outside view could be represented through the each window. Now next one is a task elaboration. It refines interactive tasks. So we will see what is the task elaboration. So the task elaboration is we already studied as it is a functional decomposition or stepwise refinement as a mechanism for refining the processing tasks that are required for the software to accomplish some desired functions. So the task analysis can be applied in two ways, such as an interactive computer based system is often used to replace a manual or semi automated activity or to understand the task that must be performed to accomplish the goal of the activity. Or a human engineer must understand the task that human currently perform when using a manual approach and then map this into a similar but not necessarily identical set of a tasks that are implemented in the context of the user interfaces. So regardless of the overall approaches to task analysis, a human engineer must first define and classify tasks, such as if we take the example of the computer aided design, by observing an interior designer of the work, such as for furnishing your furniture. So what is the task for example using information contained in the use cases of the furniture, the layout could be, the first one is draw a floor plan based on room dimension, place windows and doors at appropriate location, or use furniture template to draw scale furniture outline, or move furniture outline and ascents outside to get base placement, or label all furniture and ascent outline, draw dimension to show location, perspective rendering view of the customer. So this is all the measures you need to select for furnishing your furniture of the user. So next one is the object elaboration. So it identify interface object or the classes. So for example, that is, rather than focusing on the task that the user must perform, the software engineer examines the use cases and other information obtained from the user and extract the physical objects that are used by the interior designer. For example, the furniture template might translate into a class called the furniture with attributes that might include the size, shape, location and other. So the interior designer would select the object from the furniture class, move it to the position on the floor plan, draw the furniture outline and so forth. So this is all the object elaboration, that is where you are going to elaborate your object. Now next one is a workflow analysis. So when a number of different user, that is each playing different roles, makes use of a different interfaces, it is sometimes necessary to go beyond task analysis and object elaboration and apply workflow analysis. So your workflow analysis is designed by using your diagram, that is a swimline diagram. We will see here the swimline diagram of employee, supervisor and IT group where you are going to process your request. So first one is what the employee will request for the process will begin. It will submit the request for the equipment. If its request is either accepted, the supervisor will either accept its request for granting the equipment, or it will reject granting, or it will reject the request for equipments. If the request is accepted, it will send it to the IT group, that is process the request that which is request from your employee. It will says the IT group that your request from your employee is accepted, and now you can provide all the necessary equipment to your employer, and it will delivery and install the equipments to your employee, and at the end step is the request process ends. If your request is rejected by the some process, this is what if your first of all we will see that you will submit the request. If the request is accepted, it will send it to your IT group. It will process your request. It will install all the equipment, necessary equipments, but wherever you want, that is in your PCs or in your laptop, it will arrange all your equipments and the request is processed. If the request is rejected, then again you should have to inform to your employer that is your request is rejected. You can give some reasons of the rejections to your user, or you can only say that your request is rejected. So this is from the supervisor, and this is the end process. So if you can say it as some documents are a mismatch, so your employee again can do the request for your applications and request for the equipments, and again it can send the request to your supervisor, and again request can be granted, and all this process will be continued. So this is a swimline diagram of your workflow analysis. And now the next one is a analysis of a display content. So we will say analysis for the display contents are the user task identified in the preceding sections lead to the presentation of a variety of a different type of a content. For example, for modern application, display contents can range from characters based reports such as spreadsheets, graphical displays such as histogram, 3D models, picture of a person, or a specialized information such as audio and the video. So interface analysis steps may elaborated as are different type of data assigned to consistent geographic locations on the screen, such as the photos always appear in the upper right hand corner, or can the user customize the screen location for the content? Is proper on-screen identification assigned to all contents? So this is all the criteria you should need to analyze during your interface analysis. Is proper on-screen identification assigned to all contexts? How is a large report partition for ease of understanding? Will mechanism be available for moving directly to summary information for large collections of data? Will graphical output be scaled out fit within the bound of the display devices that is used, Or how will color be used to enhance understanding? How will error messages and warning be presented to the user? Now next one is interface design steps. So you have to follow some interface design steps for designing your interfaces. So once interactive analysis had been completed, all tasks, that is objects and action required by the end user have been identified in the detail, and the interface design activity commences. Interface design, like all software engineer design, is an interactive process. Each user interface design steps occur a number of times, each elaborating and refining information developed in the process steps. So there are some combination of the following steps for your interface design. First one is using information developed during interface analysis, such as define interface objects and the action, such as the operation. You should have to define the objects and the operations related to your task. Second one is the define events that will cause the state of the user into the change. That is a model and this its behavior. Model this behavior, the behavior of your system. Depict each interface states as it will actually look to the end user. Then next one is indicate how the user interprets the state of the system from information provided through the interface. So you should have to focus on all this step for your interface design. Now next one is some design issues. So here are the some design issues which are arises during design of your application. As the design of a user interface involves four common design issues, that are system response time, user help facilities, and error information handling, command labeling. So unfortunately many designers do not address these issues until relatively late in the design process. Sometimes the first link of a problem doesn't occur until an operational prototype is available. So these are the some design issues. First one is the response time. That is, we are here saying the response time, that is system response time is the primary complaint for many interactive application. In general, system response time is the measure from the point at which the user performs some control action. For example, hit the return key or click a mouse until the software responds with the desired output of the action. Next one is the help facilities. So we will see help facilities as almost every user of an interactive computer based system require help now and then. So a number of design issues are arises in help facilities, such as will help be available for all system functions and at all time during system interaction, or how will the user request help, or how will help be represented, that is option include a separate window, a reference, printed document, or how will the user return to normal interactions, such as its screen, function key, control sequence, or how will help information to structure, such as access through a keyword, a layered hierarchy of information that provide increasing detail as the user process into the structure, or the use of the hypertext, or such as the error handling. That is how you are going to handle error in your system, or are you going to provide some error messages, or you are going to handling your error, such as error messages and warning are bad news delivered to the user of interaction system when something has gone away. So you should have to first check your error messages, such as the message should describe the problem in language the user can understand. The message should provide constructive advice for reworking from the errors. The message should indicate any negative consequences of the errors. The message should be accompanied by audible or visual cue. The message should be non-judgmental, that is, the wondering should never place blame on the user. Next one is a menu and the command labeling. That is, the type command was once the most common mode of the interaction between users and the system software, and was commonly used for applications of every type, such as will every menu options have a corresponding command, what form will commands take, that is options include a control sequence, such as the alt P is for printing, control S is for saving. So how difficult will it be to learn and remember the command? What can be done if the command is forgotten? So this is all the criteria you should have to select before developing your design. Can command be customized or abbreviated by the user? Are menu labels self-explanatory within the context of the interface? Are submenus consistent with the function implied by the master menu item? So next one is application accessibility. So application accessibility is as computing application becomes ubiquitous, software engineer must ensure that interface design encompasses mechanism that enables easy access for those with special needs. Accessibility for user who may be physical challenges is impressive for the moral, legal and the business responses. And next one is internationalization. So software engineers and their manager invariably underestimate the efforts and skills required to create user interfaces that accommodate the needs of a different locales and the languages. So this is all your design issues. Now next one is the interface design principle. So here are the different principles such as anticipation, communication, consistency, control and efficiency. That is, a web app should be designed so that it is anticipated. We are going to elaborate it with a web app application. The interface should communicate the status of the activity. Consistency, that is, you should need to identify the color, shape and layout of your web app. Control autonomy is your web app should be facilitated with users movement. And efficiency, that is your work efficiency. And next one is interface design principles such as what is your focus. The web app interface focus is it stay focused on the user's task. Its Fitts law is the time to acquire a target is a function of a distance to and size of the target. Human interface objects, that is the library of reusable human interface. Latency reduction, that is it should use multiple tasking. Learnability, a web app interface should be designed to minimize learning time. Next one is maintain work products integrity, that is form complete by the user, a user specific list. Readability of the user, track state, that is when appropriate the state of the user interaction should be tracked. And visible navigation, that is a well designed web app interface provide the illusion that users are in the same place with the work brought to them. A workflow such as review information contained in the analysis model, develop a rough sketch of your web app, map user objectives, define a set of a user tasks, then storyboard screen images of the interface, refine interface layout such as storyboard using inputs. Now next one is interface design workflow such as identify user interface, develop a procedure representation of a user, develop a behavioral representation, describe the interface and refine and review the interface. Static designs are don't be afraid of a white space, emphasize content, organize layout element, group navigation, don't extend your real estate and consider resolution and the browser window size and the layout. Now design evaluation cycles such as once an operational user interface prototyping has been created, it must be evaluated to determine whether it meets the need of the user. So evaluation can span a formality spectrum that ranges from an informal test drive in which a user provides impromptu feedback to a formally designed study that uses statistical method for the evaluation of the questionnaires completed by the population of the end user. So this is the figure which is providing you the preliminary design. So the main focus is on the length and complexity of the written specification of the system and its interfaces provide an indication of the amount of learning required by the user of the system. The number of user tasks specified and the average number of actions per task provide an indication of interaction time and the overall efficiency of the system. The number of actions, tasks and system states indicated by the design model imply the memory load on user of the system. And interface style help facilitate an error handling protocol provide a general indication of the complexity of the interface and the degree to which it will be accepts. This is the design evaluation. First one is a preliminary design, then build your prototype interface. After that, evaluate user interface. If evaluation is studied by the designer, then interface design is completed. If not, if your user may find some changes, then design modifications are made. Again, it will build the prototype. You can build n number of a prototype based on your user expectation. So this is your overall design implementation, a design evaluation cycle, and end of your chapter 10. Thank you.